Hello everyone, I'm Shelby Boyer here, your Trousdale County 4-H and Family Consumer Science Agent, and today we are going to be focusing on one of the program areas that we focus on the Family and Consumer Science side, which is health and safety. But the big thing that we're going to focus on today is safety, and I have a special guest with me today. I have District Captain of the Tennessee Highway Patrol, R.C. Christian, with us, and he's going to talk to you about some things in regards to the Executive Orders number 15 and Executive Orders number 19 that Bill Lee has put out. And it hits a broad range of everything from your licensing and registration to hauling farm products such as trailers and stuff like that, and just some traffic safety basics. So whenever you're ready.
Okay. One thing, folks, I can say is, beyond the doubt, the pandemic of the COVID-19 has just created a lot of unique challenges with us, especially at the state level and in the local levels as well. And, our goal is to, one thing, keep you informed. And I think that's always paramount, to have an informed public, because that way you're aware of the things that you need to know, because people have a lot of questions and unanswered questions, and hopefully we can clarify that with you, some this morning. One of the things I think that we really see right now is the need for goods to travel, to places, especially medical supplies and things such as that. And one thing that Executive Order number 15 does is it lifts some of the restrictions for vehicles that are transporting, emergency supplies. They may be transporting equipment, even mobile structures or other things to affected areas. And the executive order that Governor Lee has put in place, allows them to give them more, time to transport those goods, and some of the restrictions that might prohibit their time and the drivers and things such as that has been totally lifted. The good thing about that is that helps in certain realms, because this is a time that we want supplies and emergency equipment to get out into the areas as soon as they possibly can. And that's, been done before. We see that a lot, like in hurricanes and things such as that and other natural disasters. We even seen some of that when the tornadoes hit. And that's kind of something that just kind of lets them know that. So you think about, from the agricultural perspective of things, there's even things where that applies there as well. And with that being said, food, as we all know, is very vital to our existence as well. And what it kind of helps with the farmer is, a good way that the regulators have put that is from farm to fork. And I think that's a really simple way of understanding that, that they're able to do that as well. That also covers, as we know this time of year, that covers your fertilizer. It may cover your feed that you're doing things, and it's actually even covering, fuel as well, and the transport from that. The normal things that it doesn't, give a lot of exemptions on is the things that it applies. And depending on the farming operation, of course, there's certain realms you still have to have CDL. And, those are regulations that it does not. And also, you still got to have insurance naturally when you're doing those kind of things. Just things that we would look. Some operations, depending on the magnitude and how large they are, might even have to use drug and alcohol testing. And when you say that, it's not because you think that they're, maybe doing something inappropriate. That's just part of their normal processes, and and that keeps things where they need to be. And one other realm from that is, if you find someone that needs, rest, of course, then they get fatigued or something like that, then they can, we don't want people driving fatigued, even in emergency situations. And I'll talk about that more in traffic, but, that also gives them the opportunity to understand that, that they need to get the 10 hours rest as needed. One thing that has really kind of, and it's just the time that we're in right now, is people that might have issues with their registrations expiring, or their driver's licenses are expiring. And we're going to kind of even talk about that really quickly, and even with the Real ID that's going on, and just kind of let you know where we stand with that. Right now, the way the executive order reads is March the 12th through May the 18th. If your registration expires during that time frame, you have been given an exemption until June the 30th. So basically what that means with your vehicle registration is this: that gives you the opportunity and the time to wait until then before you have to renew it. And I want to stress to you very quickly, I mean, we got a bunch of law-abiding people in our area, and the thing that you want to instill in you is this: we're trying to be very realistic with our approach to enforcing the law. And that's one thing that we're looking at with this right here. But a lot of clerks' offices and county services are closed, so you can't get your tags renewed. So with that being said, you've been given that length of time to do that as well. Another thing, you look and all of a sudden your license expires during this time, and you may be questioning, what do I need to do? Well, the same time frame from March the 12th through May the 18th is in existence right now. And what you can do with that is you will be given 6 months actually from the date that your license expires to be able to renew them, and still be in good shape and be considered, technically you wouldn't be valid, but that exemption, gives you let me rephrase that. That exemption would make you valid basically through that time. You would not, suffer any ramifications for that.
And that's very good for all of you citizens, especially like in Trousdale County or places there's not a DMV, because you have to travel to get to those places. So this is some very good information in regards to that. So,
and one thing that I want to encourage you to do, if you have access to a computer especially, you can go on to the website and just go tn.gov/safety/driver services, and then when that opens up and you Google that, or whichever search engine you use, it's going to say driver services online, and I actually have it up on my screen right now in my office. And what that does is when you click that, it's going to ask you personal information that hopefully would be inclusive, that only you would know. And that's how it accesses that, based on that. And it's going to make services available to you where you can renew your licenses online. And let me say this, the Real ID right now, it has been extended till 2021, and that was a presidential order. And with that being said, the Driver Services Center are really suspending worrying about Real IDs right now, because they're trying to maintain the priority of everything else that they have. So what I'm trying to say is this right here: if you access this online service, now you may go ahead and get your license renewed, and then sometimes between now and 2021, you will have time to go back and get the Real ID, and they will mail this to your home. And this is a very viable option right now, and it's available to you. If you have issues accessing that, you can call into our office and we'll try to help you in any way, or you can ask for me specifically, and we'll try to assist you in getting that done. With that too, I guess the main thing about all of these licenses, the only thing that really wouldn't, pertain to, it would be what they call a Class X license, and those of you that have that would know what that would be. That deals with the registration, or actually driver's license, some of the temporary or non-resident type licenses that are here driving in Tennessee for a period of time. And that's kind of what those would not apply to those. But just as a general rule, the people that are doing that would kind of have the availability to to do that. One other thing that I wanted to mention too, let's say for instance that you buy a vehicle right now, and you can't get to the county clerk's offices to register that vehicle. Now let me say that varies from county to county, and I would encourage you to check with your county to see if they are taking appointments or if they are open. But regardless, you do have until June the 30th to get that vehicle registered and do the applicable things that pertains to that. Obviously you still have to secure your insurance through your insurance company, but because the closures exist in your county, that's just something for you to know as well that you can do. One other thing that I get a lot of questions about, and it's getting better, but is medical cards for people, that drive commercial vehicles, and they have to have that. Just so you'll know, that has been extended. Let's say you had that medical card for at least 90 days prior to that March the 12th and that May the 18th timeline. You know, you can get an extension on that as well till June the 30th to submit that card to, you know, the MedCert division. And, you know, that if you get that paper in the mail, just remember that self-certification form that you have to sign. And, you know, you're welcome to utilize, you know, email to send that if you can scan it and get it sent in. But you do get an extension till June the 30th on that. So that is something for you to be mindful of as well. One thing that I do know is painful for our new drivers that's wanting to get their driver's license. As you know, they have, because I remember when I was 16, that license was gold, you know, when you get that. But the testing has been, you know, suspended in the field on that. You will probably, you know, you'll be notified when that begins again. And I want to say, with everything that we've just discussed, you know, there's variables with that. A lot of it depends on the extent of where this goes, how much longer that our governmental officials, you know, Governor Lee and his cabinet, you know, and our bosses, you know, decide how long to extend those things. And those are all in the interest of public safety. And those may be adjusted, of course, one way or the other. But hopefully by letting you know that will make you aware. And with that being said, with those drivers, there are commercial drivers that may have scheduled tests as well. And those have been suspended too. So that is something that you will keep up with, and something that you will know. And I just want to encourage you to monitor that. And there's a lot of resources on state websites for that. One other thing, you know, that I wanted to mention to you, and I think it's important that you know this. If you look and you Google 10.gov/health, you know, that'll open up a wealth of information to you as well, because we've been utilizing that as troopers in the field. One reason that we've been utilizing that is because it lets you know where the assessment centers are in your respective counties. If you feel that you want to be tested for the coronavirus, it lets you know that, or it may direct you to your county health department. You know, let me say this, obviously, if you're sick, you know, you always have your primary care physician. You know, that's not to say that you can't use them. And if you look at the website, it tells you the testing and how it's been. There are a lot of people that's been tested, and a lot of tests have been negative. But, you know, we look at those that are positive as well. The main thing is we want you to know the services that are provided to you. And that is very valuable in looking at that and seeing how that exists. And with that being said, that website has a lot of information about the coronavirus, you know, the myths and things such as that. That's very direct, and it's going to educate you. And I think that's always imperative for us to be an educated public, especially during this time. Beyond that, I mean, you know, everything else when it comes to keeping yourself clean and, you know, sterilizing your areas. Our troopers have done that extensively in the field. And we have had troopers that's, you know, that comes into contact still with the public. Let me say that right there. You know, just because this is going on, you know, local agencies are still very active in their jobs. You know, we have still dealt with, you know, we've arrested DUIs. We still see people that are driving impaired. And anything that's in the interest of public safety, we're going to address. We can't afford not to, because our agency has worked very hard along with the local agencies and law enforcement as well. You know, we've made steady progression in our, you know, approach to this, and we're not going to regress with that. We can't afford to, because we're going to remain diligent, we're going to remain strong, and we're going to continue to do this. One other thing I want to say, you know, just use common sense when it comes to, you know, the existence with the traffic laws are always there, and traffic safety. We're never going to shirk our responsibility there. But, you know, I just want you to know that, you know, we're going to be out here working the road. And let me encourage you, if you have needs, you know, our agency's there, but I assure you, all of I talk to the sheriffs in our district on a regular basis, you know, around the Cookeville area, the Trousdale County area as well. And they're available. They're eager to help you. if you have questions, don't hesitate to call these agencies and these local police departments. We're here for you, and we want to help you in any way that we can, but just know that that's available to you also. One thing that has come up that I want to mention to you, I have checked with the borders surrounding us this morning. People have, the travel restrictions people are talking about and things such as that. There are no travel restrictions at this time. And one thing that, you can always look to the places that you may be going to see if there are. But, logistically, if you think about having to cut off borders, for law enforcement, that would be a quite, an intense move. But the borders are open that surround us. I've even confirmed that with some of the other captains, in the east side, and of course, on the lower south with Georgia and Alabama as well. And I checked myself with Kentucky this morning. And I'm saying that just for this reason here. Don't let the rumors consume you. Base your decision making on facts and the way the situation exists. Because if you, do that, the rumors will, just consume you. And we have to remain educated, we have to be calm, and we have to approach this with that mindset. We're Tennesseans, and we're very strong. We're Tennessee proud. I can tell you that March 2020, this month is probably going to be one of the most memorable months in my career. We started out in Putnam County with the tornadoes at the first of the month. We went straight from that into this coronavirus response. And, of course, Sunday morning we were in White County. And through all of that, let me say this, the response of our neighbors and our citizens to help people in need has been tremendous. And I know many of you have experienced that firsthand. Folks, let me just say this. We need to apply that same principle as we're dealing with this pandemic, that we're dealing with this coronavirus, in everyday life as well. Let's be smart. Let's continue to get smarter. And let's also help our neighbors in need, because, a lot of people are going through difficult times. A lot of people are not working right now. But, we're a great state. We're a great place. And we're going to help everybody through that. If you have any questions, if you have any needs, something that we can help you with, I'm very sincere when I tell you, don't hesitate to contact us. You can find our website. You can call our office. We're here to help. We're here to be part of the solution and part of the response. And that's our goal in what we do.
Okay, so if you have any questions, like he said, I will post the phone number and any other contact information in the comments under this video. Please support all of your public safety, health safety, any of those professionals that's out in the public, because they're on the front lines of this virus. So just please support them, thank them. Come to them if you are feeling scared or have any questions, and they will be sure to help you. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
And please just keep a watch on our Facebook page, because there'll be more videos and more information that's going to be out to you. So hope everybody has a wonderful Tuesday, and we will be seeing you soon.